Good evening. Welcome to the City of Plymouth regular meeting for Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. I'll call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Let's do a roll call.
Councilmember Bottomley, absent. Councilmember Dill,
Present.
Councilmember Hornish,
Here.
Vice Mayor Nunn,
Here.
Mayor Cranford.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance together.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get an approval of the regular meeting city council, approval of the city council regular meeting agenda, the minutes? Excuse me, the agenda. I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys.
Make a motion to approve the city council regular meeting agenda of October 23rd, 2025.
I would like to pull 5.5, the second reading of the ordinance. There's a section that has an error in it that I'd like to talk about.
I'm just conferring with you. Do you want to?
What's the error?
Well, let's do the rest of the consent agenda first, and then we'll come back to that item.
That's what I thought. Okay, so we'll move forward with approving the agenda and then discuss it during the consent items. Is that what you're saying, Andreas?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move forward with the approval. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Councilmember Dill,
Aye.
Councilmember Hornish,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nunn.
Aye.
Mayor Cranford.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, we're gonna move to public comment, but before we quite get to public comment, I'm just gonna make a quick statement. I'd like to take a minute to just set expectations for public comment. And I want to make it clear for council, staff, and to the public, both online and here in person. Over time, public comment has become less structured, and I'm going to take full responsibility for that. Since I became mayor, I've gotten a little relaxed with public comment. So Robert's Rules of Order, I'm going to read from this because I can't memorize it, says that it is generally best not to respond at all, meaning council members. The chair may provide a brief factual information-based comment if appropriate, but is encouraged not to engage in a back and forth exchange with speakers. Council members are also expected to refrain from speaking during this time. So that being said, we want to make sure that this meeting remains respectful for everybody, the staff, the council members, and the public. When somebody is speaking at the dais or at the podium, we're just going to ask for not to have cross chat in the audience and for the 3-minute timeline to be honored when you come up to speak. If it is not honored, I will ask for whoever's speaking to please sit down and thank them for their comment. All comments will be taken under advisement. Just because the council does not respond to a comment does not mean the council isn't considering it or taking it into consideration. It just really isn't good practice for the council to get in a back and forth with those that are making comment. The main reason for that is because when you are making public comment, we have no way of knowing what the comment is going to be or what the questions are going to be, nor does city staff. And to expect an answer in that moment really is an unfair thing to put on anybody at the dais or city staff. So often if you've come for public comment, you're prepared with what you're going to say, but there's no way for us to prepare for what's going to be said. So with that, I'll open the floor for public comment at this time. This is for general public comment, items that are not on the agenda. If the item that you want to comment on is on the agenda, we'll ask that you wait until that agenda item gets called. And we will call for public comment at that time. Okay, so I have some sheets here that were filled out. Jim Wise, do you want to come up?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. My name's Jim Wise.
One second, Jim, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Do we have Zoom on? Oh, okay, no one's in attendance. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to check. Go ahead. Sorry about that,
No
Jim.
worries, no worries at all. I'm Jim Wise, and I'm privileged to be able to serve as the chairman of the Veterans Park Committee. I'd like to point out that I've got the vice chairman of the committee, Grandpa John, here with me tonight as well, for backup in case I need it. I just wanted to bring your attention to an event that we have coming up next Wednesday in Veterans Park. As part of the memorandum of understanding that exists between the city of Plymouth and the Rotary Club, we have a request that we provide regular updates to the city council as to the things that are going on in the park. On Wednesday, we had the culmination of a really great effort, a collaborative effort that exists among a number of agencies, including the city of Plymouth, the Rotary Club, the Plymouth Elementary School, the California Volunteer Committee out of the governor's office, Keep California Beautiful. And we have worked out a program with them by which we are able to do beautification in the park. They have provided us with some funding in the park thus far. On Wednesday, we have a planting in the park. This flyer has been publicized around the city. We've been able to work out something where we have 100 students from Plymouth Elementary School coming into the park on Wednesday. We have over 20 adult volunteers coming in. We are financed by the number of volunteers that we get in. The more volunteers that we get in, the more money we get for the park. All of the plants and the trees that we're planting on Wednesday will be donated and covered under this program. In addition, there is a lunch that is provided not only to the students as part of the program, but also to all of the adult volunteers that will be there on Wednesday to help us come out. So I would just say, to the extent that there's anybody that would like to please come out and help us on Wednesday, it not only helps the park, but it helps us financially. And I'm grateful for the great cooperation that we have gotten from the Public Works Department here from the city of Plymouth. You guys have been wonderful working with us through every element of the planning for this day on Wednesday. So,
Mr. Wise, what is the time frame for this event?
the program, we're asking if anyone wants to volunteer to show up at the park at 8. The ceremonies actually start at 8:30, where we do a little orientation with the students, teaching them and some safety considerations for the volunteers, teaching them how to plant. The whole idea of this was to invest the students with the community. We have 6 different monuments in the park representing each of the 6 service branches. We've got 6 grades. It's our hope that each year a different grade takes a different service monument, and in so doing, they get to learn about each of the 6 service branches of the U.S. military as they walk through.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Next up, we have Steve Christensen.
Good evening. My name is Steve Christensen, and I am here on behalf of Jaron Brandon. Jaron Brandon is a candidate for the 4th State Senate District here in California. The position is currently held by Marie Alvarado Gill, and he is a candidate for the state Senate. What I'm here for, what he's asked me to come here for, is to invite you to meet with him face to face. He would like to meet with members of city councils to talk about the issues that you share in common. Currently, he is a supervisor in Tuolumne County. He was reelected to be supervisor in Tuolumne County. So he has experience with rural issues as an elected official. So his issues, a lot of his issues are the same as you have here. Roads. He's helped build, he understands potholes. He has worked to build affordable housing in Tuolumne County. He's interested in healthcare and making sure we preserve our rural hospitals here in the counties of the mother lode. He's interested in fire protection. He understands that the counties in the mother lode are in danger of the same type of disaster that happened in the Camp Fire that destroyed the city of Paradise. So fire protection is an important issue to him. He's also had to deal with Governor Newsom and the bureaucracy in Sacramento. So he understands how to deal with those type of issues because he's had to do it already. So he's also interested in making sure that wine industries are preserved. He's concerned about the wine industry not having enough people to harvest the grapes. So that's an issue with him also. And he wants to represent all of the people throughout the district. So he's been elected. He wants to meet you face to face. And since you can't comment, I do have some information as far as how you can contact either me or Jaron directly or his campaign manager, because he's reaching out to you. He wants to listen. He's not the type of person who's going to come in here and tell you, if I'm elected, I'm going to do this, this, and this. He's saying, you tell me what you want me to do when I'm elected. So he wants to listen. He wants to meet face to face. And by contacting him or his campaign manager to set up a time. I've also spoken already
Excuse
to
me.
the city council.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt really quick. You're at your 3 minutes.
Okay,
So if you want to leave your information with our city manager, we'd appreciate that. And I actually have already met with Jaron Brandon, so I am familiar with him. Mhm.
And he really would like to meet with the members of the city council.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Okay, can we have Bradley Booker?
Hello, members of the council. My name is Bradley Booker, Director of Amador Trail Stewardship, and we are reaching out to the cities who are members of ACRA due to the concerns of its dissolution. We have reached out a couple times, sent a couple of letters. We hoped it would be on the agenda, but looks like there'll be no discussion. So we've sent actually a recent letter for you, so you know our position. But on the 28th, it sounds like they're having a vote to dissolve the agency. And we'd like the cities to know that we think there's a viable financial funding source for programming that benefits our region. And the risk of losing a regional recreation agency really it's a huge loss to our area if we lose a regional advocacy. So we just like to offer ourselves during this time to really just help transition into something that's valuable to the city of Plymouth and the region as a whole. So thanks very much.
Thank you, Bradley. Okay, that's all I have for the people that have written in. I do have one emailed in public comment here from Stephen Garrettson. So read that into the record. Anyone else want to come up and make public comment at this time?
Good evening. Thank you, Council. My name is Tracy Berkner. I'm your neighbor next door at Taste and Rest Hotel. And I just wanted to make a comment about the Enchanted Forest and the business that it's been bringing to the community. We have seen since they first opened, people coming from the Bay Area, from Reno, from the Central Valley. They're staying in our hotel. They're eating at our restaurants. And they're going to all of our businesses here in the community. So it's been a great thing to have a new business in Plymouth. And I hope that the city can find their way to encourage more businesses to come to town, because the more of us that there are, the more successful everyone will be. So I'm 21 years in the waiting, so anytime now. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Anyone else? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Steve Garrettson. First, I want to say thank you for all of the effort that you guys do. It's really tough to do what you guys do. A lot of time that you guys spend of your own personal efforts and energies, and you get called on things. So if someone hasn't said thank you, thank you. To the staff, I apologize for all the people who are just a pain in the butt when we come in and we say we want it now. So they get a thank you, you get an apology. I took a look at our budget. Thank you very much for our budget. Really tight, very tight, extremely tight. If Cameron is not thinking of revenue, oh, by the way, revenue, then you need to start thinking about revenue. I think you guys need to look real hard at how you partner with the tribe and the casino. My suggestion would be give them a council seat, dedicate one just for them so they can have say-so, partner with them on it. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Thanks.
Thank you.
John Coburn. I'm quite opposite of your last speaker here. One of the things I'd like to see is the encroachment permit that the tribe has. Have they gotten one for the encroachment to the city street? And the reason that they're encroaching on the city street is because they didn't want to file an encroachment permit with the state of California. And that's why they moved to the location you're at. So I would like to see that permit, and hopefully the city has gotten one. And that's somewhere, I guess someone can answer the question of whether there is one or not. That you've been faced with money problems here with the ongoing with the casino coming in. And the taking away the property tax and the TOT tax and other things. That's about $450,000 that you have lost because of that action. And I believe I'd like to tell you how you can get that back. You can take your lawyer and ask him, pay him $100 to ask him to read the record of decision from the federal government that allowed the casino to be licensed as a gaming facility. And in that record of decision, it says in lieu of the property tax and other revenues that are taken in when the property is taken into trust, there must be a payment to the city in lieu of that fee. That has been ignored since 1923, and that's about $450,000 a year that should be coming from the tribe to the city of Plymouth. Thereafter, we have the state senator coming and saying you need to be acting in good faith and having discussions with the tribe. It's my opinion that they aren't acting in good faith by honoring what's in the record of decision and what their requirements are, and ignoring the cost impact to the city of Plymouth and the loss of revenue. So I think it's something you need to follow up with. It's been 1923 is when they took that land in trust. That's $900,000 that the city is absent from that endeavor, and there's been no address and no discussion of paying those fees. So when people are coming around saying you need to be just talking in good faith to the tribe needs to be talking in good faith with you. And it's a two-way good street, and it's money that this city needs, and it's not money that the federal government it's trying to make sure that we're replenished with.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to wrap up. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to wrap up because your timer just went off. I know it's hard to hear, but our timer broke.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And since I can provide factual information, on public comment, there was an encroachment permit. It was provided in a PRA to Mr. Cranford, and you can contact him to see that encroachment permit. I'm sure he'll be willing to share it with you.
We're just gonna share it with them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to make public comment at this time?
Good evening, Jamie LeBanco. I just had a triple shot of espresso from Starbucks, so I'll get a lot in my 3 minutes. I wanted to give you a quick update on the Harvest Festival, which happened this past weekend. A great big thank you to the Public Works Department and staff for some help on that this year. We closed down the street. There's a young man working in the Public Works Department right now. I mean, he's probably not that young, but they all seem young to me. And his name, is it Caden or Caton? Caden, I'm sorry, I'm not really great at remembering that name, but he was really fantastic. And I just wanted to give him some props here in front of the bosses. This year's Harvest Fest exceeded last year's financial income, which is pretty fantastic. In case you didn't know, we actually take the proceeds from the Harvest Festival and we actually earmark those for Veterans Park. As a side note, the Plymouth Foothills Rotary Club does a couple major fundraisers a year. The Amador Plymouth Farmers Market, I apologize, on Thursday night, the farmers market funding all goes to youth programs and scholarships for kids from Plymouth. We send multiple kids a year to leadership camps. So farmers market funding goes to youth programs and Harvest Fest funding goes to Veterans Park. A big thank you also to Nan Danford. She was this year's event chair, kind of getting me off the hook on that one this year, which has been pretty great because it's allowed me to turn my sights with a great committee to our next fundraiser, which I just wanted to bring to your attention this evening. We are doing the first annual Amador Holiday Home Tour. It is on December 6th. You're probably seeing some social media activity around that. The home tour will have 6 homes in Plymouth on the tour. Each home is professionally decorated by a local decorator or a local shop owner. The homes on the tour that you will recognize in the town of Plymouth proper are the Colburn home, the Amoruso home, and the Lavaggi home. We also have 3 beautiful homes in Zinfandel Ridge that will be showcased on that tour as well. We're very excited. The website for that event is AmadorHolidayHomeTour.com, where you can purchase tickets. The funds from that particular event are going to be earmarked for the Amador Cancer Research Foundation, which is a local nonprofit we're partnering with. The money will go to UC Davis Cancer Center, specifically earmarked for childhood cancer research. We're very excited about the Harvest Fest success. We're very excited about this home tour, and we're very appreciative of the city's support through all these things. Thank you.
Thank you.
I told you I was going to talk really fast.
You did great. Anyone else for public comment on anything not on the agenda?
Good evening, Rosemary Marino Moody, Plymouth. The first comment I want to make is on the Plymouth homepage, you used to be able to get to the agenda on the homepage right as you open it up and click on it. And I had a couple of people contact me because now you have to go through, I had to walk them through the link to hit a link to get to the agenda. So I don't know why that changed. It used to be real easy. I mean, I usually put it on in my, while I'm here so I can look at the packet information as you guys go through it, but I noticed it is not there. So I don't understand why that changed. Also on the walking path going across the highway, when it rained last week, it flooded on the east side. So I just wanted to bring that attention up because that wasn't that heavy of a rain. There's supposed to be a pretty heavy rain this weekend. So I wanted the maintenance to be aware of that it is flooding. I don't know what the answer to that is. And then I just wanted to wonder if there was going to be a finance update at some point for the residents, because we stressed that there was a financial crisis, and I know they gave a budget with a little bit of wiggle room, a positive number, but the next few years is all negative. So I'm wondering, has any more audits been done? Where are we at with that? It would be nice for that to be transparent to the public, what's going on with the finance. And then the last thing, I just want to say, I'm very appalled to find out that Margaret Roberts, our ex-city manager, is still going in the office and working. I just don't understand that when she was let go, why she continues to be in our office. Thank you.
Thank you for the first comment regarding the homepage. Just for fact-based information to give back to you on that. I do have that info. We had a website maintenance thing done, and when that happened, it was moved. So certainly something we can talk about in the future. It was just a standard maintenance thing that happened.
We're gonna put it back on the homepage.
Great, thank you. Okay, anyone else for public comment that's not on the agenda? As long as it's not about the holiday home tour, you can make another comment.
I'm feeling really guilty as I'm sitting at the back of the room thinking about the Veterans Park and all the planting and everything we've got going on there, and we haven't planned something for Veterans Day. So I think I'll reach out to your city manager. He and I worked really well together to put together some 4th of July activities down there, and we could probably put something even small, but we certainly shouldn't let that date go by without something planned. So this is probably a premature invitation to a Veterans Day event, but I'm certain something will happen at that location, which is November 11th.
Thank you. It's on, and we asked for you please not to shout from the audience. If you have a public comment, come up and feel free to make it.
I just got a text from someone and he says he can't find the link for the Zoom. Wanted to know if it's on tonight.
It's on.
I don't know.
I asked
It
at the
is?
beginning of the meeting.
So where is the link? So
It's on the top of
on
the
the top of
agenda.
the agenda. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I just wanted to comment. So we can hear you plain as day, right?
Okay.
I don't think these speakers work. Oh, wherever this sound is emitting right now and you speak into this microphone, like Jamie, you, other than that, I never hear the other council members. So if everybody, you could just kind of pay attention to who's talking and make sure that they're in the microphone and then you can hear. Okay?
Thank you. Anyone else? For public comment, items not on the agenda? Okay, we'll close public comment at this time. No one online, correct? And we don't have any presentations or proclamations on the agenda. We're gonna move to the consent calendar items. Does anyone on council have any comments about the consent calendar items?
I have a comment about item 5.5. When we met on September 11th, in section 19.820.040C, in the residential buffer, the word masonry was supposed to be removed, but it's still in there.
Good catch.
We can take it out for the, the final one.
Can we make that amendment tonight without removing it from the consent calendar? Okay. I'd like to, does anyone else on the council have any comments? No, I'd like to open public comment up for consent calendar items. Anything on the consent calendar you want to make public comment on? Seeing none in the audience, none on Zoom. Okay, we'll close public comment for consent calendar items. And then can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar items with the amendment made to 5.5?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar with the amendment to number 5.5.
Second.
Councilmember Dill,
Aye.
Councilmember Hornish,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nunn,
Aye.
Mayor Cranford.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. We have no public hearings. We're going to go ahead and move to regular agenda items. 7.1 is receive resignation letter from former treasurer Michael Spinetta. Discussion and possible action to proceed with filling vacancy by appointment. We'll take a staff report at this time. It's because I usually fumble the staff report.
Treasurer Mike Spinetta resigned, and so I just recommend that we accept his resignation and decide how to move forward.
Thank you.
And we already have posted the vacancy, so we've been accepting applications.
Has any come in?
None yet, no.
Okay. I'd like to open public comment on this then. Does anyone have public comment on 7.1? Resignation of Mr. Spinetta? Seeing none in the audience and none online, I'll close public comment for this item and move to discussion with council.
Actually, one more clarification because it might be a little confusing. Historically, the city's had an elected treasurer. Now, at the last election, voters approved a measure to make it an appointed position. And therefore, with his resignation, that measure went into effect. It was either going to run until the end of his term or until he leaves office. Now that he's left office, we've transitioned to an appointed treasurer. Otherwise, we'd be in the same position we had with our vacancies, where it would have been up to the council whether to call a special election to fill the vacancy or do an appointment. In this case, it's just an appointment is the only option going forward. Now the question is really how long do we want to keep the posting up? My recommendation would be to accept applications up until the next council meeting and then act on an appointment at that time.
Thank you. Council?
Do we have any knowledge of how much of a time commitment this is to somebody that might be retired person, or might be somebody that might have a little bit of time, but
I really don't know a good number.
yeah.
I wish I did.
Mhm.
I think it maximum be a couple hours a week.
Okay.
It's a position where it's largely up to the individual how engaged they end up being.
But certainly attending budgetary meetings.
Attending meetings, reviewing documents. Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else? Comments or questions for staff? Or discussion?
Nothing.
Thank you.
My understanding, as I recall from the voter guide, when this measure went through, was that treasurer position remained an elected position through the end of the election 2028. So, but now you're saying that with him resigning, it automatically goes to that. I don't understand that.
So it was either until the end of that term or until the office becomes vacant. That was how the measure was written.
Okay, I didn't remember that part. I had recalled that it was through 2028. Okay.
Yeah, if he had not resigned, his term would have been a 4-year term running until the November 2028 election.
Anyone else have any comments? Okay.
So
Sorry.
if by the next meeting, no one is put in for it. Should we just put
just
open until
remains.
filled?
It remains vacant and we would continue to accept
Vacant.
application.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll change it to either someone is put in or vacant until filled.
Pretty
Or
much,
till,
yes.
yeah.
All right. Anything else? Is everyone okay with it being posted until the next meeting? And if somebody applies, we address it then? Is everyone okay with that? Okay, well, that's the direction we'll go with then. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move to agenda item 7.2. Brace yourselves for impact. This is a little goofy. Approve staff to write a proclamation issuing key to the city honoring Robin Shaw to present to her at a special meeting held on November 19th, 2025. Now, I'm gonna turn this over to staff to explain, and then I'm gonna probably piggyback to help out, because this was my harebrained idea. Cameron, do you wanna
Yes.
go for it?
Sure. Robin Shaw is an influencer, a comedian, and a regular contributor on national television with over 1 million followers. In 2025, she set out to be honored with a key to a city, and Ms. Shaw has chosen Plymouth to feature on her podcast and throughout all of her social media platforms. Ms. Shaw was invited to visit Plymouth and experience all we have to offer from local wineries, ranch life, and our local establishment. And she will document her adventures to share and promote the city at a special meeting on November 19th. The fiscal impact of the city is low. It costs $117.99 for a key to the city to present to her. And so we recommend that you approve the special meeting for November 19th, 2025, and direct staff to author a proclamation recognizing Ms. Shaw's visit and present her with a key to the city.
Thank you. We'll open up for public comment, and I'll save my comments for city council discussion. So anyone who wants to make public comment on 7.2, come on up.
Rosemary Marino, Plymouth. So you're saying that she reached out to Plymouth to get a key? Or did someone from Plymouth reach out to her? That doesn't sound right.
I can give you factual information, Rosemary.
Okay.
I reached out to her.
Okay. So normally a key to a city is given to someone that has made contributions to a city, to the community, to whatnot. And this diminishes that award, to more of a PR, push is all it is to me, is a PR stunt. So I'm a little bit, in disagreement with this because this person has no attachment to Plymouth, and also with this fiscal impacts is just saying for the key, but you're asking for a special meeting, which there's costs when there's a special meeting. So those should have been included in that fiscal. And then what happens if she was invited here? Are there going to be costs down the line for her stay and what she does while she's here? And will those costs come back to the city? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment on 7.2?
Hi, Jamie LeBanco, local business owner. I kind of recognize that this is somewhat silly, and a little lighthearted. And I can appreciate Rosemary's comment about the key to the city going to someone who's made major contributions to our community. I thought about offering the key that you may someday give to me, but I'm not sure that that's guaranteed. I think it's hard I think we can't understate what a social media influencer is and does. I recognize that it's not traditional media, and for anyone my generation and over, it's really silly and not quite serious or important. But it would be false to suggest that a social media influencer with the type of following that she has and with her national public, she does a lot of TV appearances on the Kelly Clarkson show and stuff. I'm not even a fan. I had to look her up, frankly. This is the equivalent of getting a free article in the Wall Street Journal or something, and, you know, in the day and age when that was of utmost importance. It's something that just brings a lot of attention to your city. It's something that will bring wacky people to visit the Dead Fly Diner because they think that the fact that it's called the Dead Fly Diner is really funny. And it is something that will no doubt bring some wine tourism visitors to see us. And I just think it's something that will put us on the map. And then finally, I kind of want to say, I mean, it will put us on the map with that audience, right? And then finally, I kind of want to say, just maybe to be a little ahead of it, the city of Plymouth has got some really serious things going on. Really serious things. I mean, we are all very aware of your budget issues and the decisions you're going to have to make around water. There's a lot of serious things happening here. And I would hate for this council to be accused of not being serious in this moment. But I would really argue that you could do something like this and not also be working really hard to find solutions and do all the serious stuff. When you run for office, it doesn't just have to be a drag. Anyways, those are my thoughts on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment on 7.2? Okay, we'll close public comment at this time on 7.2 and we'll take it to council discussion. Do you want me to start off? Okay, so to give a little bit of backstory on this, I've followed this woman on social media for 5 years. She was a light in the darkness during the pandemic for millions of people. And she, every year, at the beginning of every year, writes a goals list with her followers. And many wacky things are put on this goals list, including and not limited to going to NASA, which she did, and many other interesting, fun, comedic things. And one of her things for this year was to get a key to a city. So it's nearing the end of the year. I reached out to her and I said, hey, I happen to be on a city council for a small city in Northern California. If you're interested, maybe we could do that for you. If you would be willing to come here and tell everybody how amazing our little town is. And so she responded, to my shock, honestly. The fact that I was even seen in her messages kind of is amazing and kismet, in my opinion. And so she would like to come here and honor Plymouth and do some fun things and show off our quaint, sweet little town. And I recognize that this is not a normal operating procedure, that I want to just honor the comments that were made that yes, normally a key to a city would go to somebody who's contributed greatly to our city. However, in this instance, I believe that she will be doing that in the past tense after getting it. You know, will be on her social media forever, and she has a lot of really amazing followers. I personally have already received emails from people when she stated, I think I'm getting a key to a city, and she was sharing about it in her stories. She said what city we were, and I've already received emails from people that went to our city website, found us, and said, oh my gosh, Robin Shaw's coming to your city, I want all the details. So she hasn't even come yet, and I'm already receiving questions about it. So I think three things can be true at the same time. To Jamie's point, we can be working really hard on some really hard issues, but we can also enjoy some levity in the moment of working really hard on really hard issues. And I think this council has been very dedicated and has worked very hard and cares very much about this city. And in my viewpoint and in my mind, having somebody that is working for the Kelly Clarkson show in New York and living in New York come see small town life and small town America is an awesome opportunity for us to get to show her that. So those are my comments and thoughts on it, and I'm hoping that this passes and is approved so that we can have a bright spot in the middle of some really hard times, which is exactly what she provides to a lot of people. Comments?
No comments.
Don?
I could say I agree a little bit with both of the comments that were made up there. However, I do think that what it comes down to for me is I'm told that we aren't going to have a lot of expenses for this meeting. We're not going to need to have the city attorney here. And the city manager who's on a salary, not compensated, and all of us who pretty much aren't compensated. So it's really not going to cost a lot to conduct this meeting. To me, what it comes down to, I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies, I don't even know who most of these people are. But to me, it comes down to, I look at it in the sense of, like you said, what it's going to do in the future. I look at it for our business owners. Quite frankly, it's just it. And it's not just for us, but for our neighbors too. The Shenandoah Valley, the wineries are having a really rough go of it right now. And so many of these people, they follow these different individuals on social media, and they will literally one weekend be sitting around and that somebody they know, like, let's drive up to Plymouth and want to come here just because she was here and videoed it. So I think with what it costs being so minimal and the rewards for the business owners here and in the surrounding area, I think I'd go ahead and vote yes on this.
Really quick, Holger, before I just want to add a comment. It popped in my head while you were talking, Dawn, that one of the questions brought up was cost. And Miss Tracy Berkner and I have already had a conversation. I will be taking her, Robin, to taste for dinner. That will be at my expense, my personal expense. With my huge mayor salary, I'll be able to cover that. And then she will be staying at Rest, and the cost of that is being worked out as well, but it will not be at the city's cost. So I just want to make that really clear. Holger?
Yay. I absolutely love this idea. Much to RJ's and Jamie's point, well taken. I don't disagree with the handling of the key to the city typically. I think we definitely need some lightheartedness right now. We definitely do. And that's not coming from a selfish point of view, but it's hard, RJ, I don't take a paycheck from the city, haven't for a while. And I would also like to say yes to this if I get to pay for the key. Okay, so that cost is also null and void, just to let you know. And I think it's gonna hopefully pay off in spades after the fact when she's been here, right? There are many wineries and other businesses that bring influencers are here to do that. It's name brand recognition. It's what is Plymouth, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm all for it. Thank you.
And to piggyback on that, actually, thank you for bringing that up, Holger. I also don't take a salary from the city. So I think between the two of you, we've covered the cost of the city key. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Do you guys have any other comments? No? No?
Make a motion to approve item 7.2. Approving staff to write a proclamation and issuing key to the city honoring Robin Shaw to present to her at a special meeting held on November 19th, 2025.
I'll second the motion.
Councilmember Dell?
Aye.
Councilmember Hornish?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nunn?
Aye.
Mayor Cranford?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, we'll move to 7.3, everyone okay? Receive discussion and direction to staff regarding posting for the recruitment of the permanent city manager position. I'm guessing we're going to go to Andreas for the staff report on this.
Everybody good back there? Everything okay? No, you're good. Okay, so at the September 25th meeting, we talked about how we want to go about the recruitment using our resources here rather than going with a recruiter for much greater expense. For the direction then, I created a job posting and a job description as is customary for when you recruit for a position such as this. The council had wanted to take a look at that posting before we listed publicly, so this is the opportunity for some feedback on our posting, questions about that, and then from here, the next step would be to actually make the posting go live on various platforms for a period of 30 to 60 days. Some places you list per month, some you get 2 months right away, some do 45 days. But based on past experience with recruitment such as this, 1 to 2 months is really kind of the sweet spot for looking for applicants. All right, any questions?
I don't think so right now.
Okay.
Do you want to go to public comment? Yeah, we can do that. Okay, we'll open this item 7.3 up for public comment.
Don't waste your time, guys. It's a waste of a lot of money. Cameron's a good guy. You need to hire him. Really, don't waste our money. Don't go out there and look for someone who's gonna do this. I know the lawyers out here, I've had lots of experience hiring city managers. You got yourself a really good one right now. You got someone who's here, involved in the community. He knows what's going on. Don't waste our money.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment?
Rosemary Marina Moody, Plymouth. My only concern is the salary range went up to $200,000. Usually when you post that, most people try to gravitate towards that. And I'm just concerned with our financial situation. That seems like a large range. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Nope. Okay, seeing somebody's phone. Oh, it's probably me. Yes. So seeing no public comment, I'll go ahead and close public comment at this time. Council, do you want to have a conversation?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So actually, my first point was gonna be exactly what Ms. Moody brought up. I don't understand where this salary range came from. The 200,000 is far beyond what we have ever approved. Even in last year's budget, when the city manager had asked us to raise it to like, I think 168 or 177. So I don't know where that number came from. My only concern, having that number out there, and I understand, you're not necessarily paying that upfront to someone, but one of my concerns with having a number like that is, one, it's a number that's never been approved by council. And two, it gives the impression if somebody's reading the posting from out of the area that they're potentially going to be paid that amount. And we're getting flooded with applications that we have to go through. And when the people find out that we're much closer to the other end of that spectrum than to that, then, we have a lot of people, I guess, applying for this that wouldn't accept the job at what we're willing to pay or capable of paying. So I don't understand why it was listed so high on here.
So I came up with the range based on where we've been and also looking around at all the other jurisdictions here in the area. And that is roughly where a lot of city managers are in Amarillo County and in surrounding counties. That's where I came up with that number. We can obviously put that down lower. With a big range, you're going to get more candidates.
Yeah, in the past, because that was brought up to us before, that these other cities were paying more. And I think that my feeling, I mean, for me personally, it's great that they're doing that. They also all have a lot higher revenue and population base. They have police departments to operate, fire departments to operate. We don't have all those things. And we can only pay what we can afford to pay. So I think it should be listed at what it is. I looked it up for the last year. If you were paying at full salary from what I was able to find, because we don't have it listed as we should really, the salary ranges of everything. But if you have it listed at what it would have been max for last year, it topped at like 168. And you got to consider that these listings are generally just the compensation, not the benefits. So that adds another, I believe it's 25 to 30% when you put compensation on that. So to me, we would be more down in the 9 to 12,000 a month range is where we could afford to be under our given situation, which would be in the 108, 144 range. And at the top of that, we're still pushing 170, over 170,000.
I'm happy to list whatever the council wants to list. I just went with the comparables for this draft here.
Yeah, let's just pick a range we're comfortable with. We don't have to really. I mean, yeah, whatever range we think is comfortable. Debbie, do you have any comments or thoughts?
I agree with what Don was saying.
Okay. Holger?
I was also under the impression that our cutoff was gonna be 150K. Because of what we talked about in previous sessions, but we were not comfortable with paying. I mean, I'm sure we can point out that it's, 125 to 150, or even go what was it, 158, Don?
Well, at 12,000 a month, you're 144.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is just, we're hiring somebody at this. This doesn't mean that they'll never make more than that.
Right.
If we're doing better in a year or two, 3, and we have a manager who's doing better for the city, cutting expenses and bringing in higher revenues, then we could certainly at that budget time, adjust it up.
Right.
It's just, I think listing it super high like that, we're getting a lot of people who are going to be applying for this feasibly thinking that they might. So
Does this salary range include compensation for other items like the past city manager was receiving
This is just the salary. This isn't other benefits. This is
just salary.
This is a
Got it.
base salary.
And so the benefits then would also be called out in the ad, correct?
We're gonna list the types of benefits that we offer, but there's not gonna be any specifics for
Okay.
like
Okay.
provider types.
That's negotiated in the contract. Correct.
That would typically be an item for an employment contract for a city manager, correct?
Okay.
Under preferred education experience, and I apologize, I didn't have time to look this up, but ICMA-CM. What is it?
That is, I believe, an like a private accreditation. We can take that out. Let me get to it. Yeah, that's basically a private company that does training and accreditations for managers.
Okay. Completed application materials must be submitted to the city clerk, Victoria McHenry. Yada, yada, yada. By what date? Just whenever during that open position when it's.
My recommendation would be to not leave it open for more than 60 days. So based on when we post it, we're gonna work from that.
Would it be burdened of us to have a due date? Just so that everybody understands, I gotta get this in by.
Yeah, yes. So part of the direction I'm looking for is whether everybody's still comfortable with the idea of posting it for a maximum of 60 days, and then we'll work out a posting date. To get this all cleaned up and submitted, it'll be early next week. And so 60 days from whenever we actually start posting these would be my recommendation for the
Do you reckon then that the $2,000 in listing costs covers the 60 days?
Yes, that's a ballpark estimate based on some of the places where we're intending to list it being 2 months listings and others charging a little extra and giving you 2 months upfront.
Okay. Have you talked about who's handling resumes and when it would come before council and how we do interviews?
So we talked about that a little bit last time as to how we're going to proceed with that, and that's going to largely be driven by how many applicants we get, whether or not we'll need to do like a review panel so that not the whole council has to review 20 applications, but that's really going to be more driven by how much of a response we get.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? So do you guys want to cap the salary range at 150K? 144? You want to cap it at 144?
I'm okay with 150.
Debbie, your tiebreaker.
I'm okay with 150.
Okay. All right, so you have any other comments, Dawn? I see you gearing up for something here. Your mic's not on.
No, I'm just looking to see what so in the listing, what we're gonna offer, like medical or in lieu of, I'm trying to find that. Like if
Oh.
somebody wants to see in lieu of, what are we gonna cap that at?
That's
Well,
mostly
we're-
going to be negotiated in
Yeah.
a contract
Okay.
with the.
So we're not-
It won't be on here.
But
Yeah,
we're not going to go into specifics on that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I think it's fair to give direction at this point. You can just take a head nod count.
Did we want to leave the accreditation thing in there or not?
No, I don't.
We take it out.
That's fine.
Okay.
Let's do the cap at 150K.
Okay.
Or we could, what's the difference between 144 and 150?
At 500 a month.
Yeah,
It's difference between 12,000 a month and 12,500 a month. That's all. And then also a bottom range, you have a 9 on a bottom range, so you have a
What
range.
if we top it at 148? That's meeting in the middle.
Well,
The
I think it's
smaller you make the
144 to
range, the
150.
more you're going to limit your potential applicant.
Okay, let's do 150.
150 on the top. What about bottom?
Bottom, 125.
Yeah.
You want it to be different?
No, we get, well, 120 would be 10.
What?
I don't know where you get the 125 at.
It's on here.
I know that. I'm saying, I don't know where he got it at. So at 10,000, that's 10,000 a month, 120.
Oh,
I don't see how it came out 125, but I would be 120 to 150 then.
Let's go 120, 150.
That's fine. 120 to 150.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna go to 7.4, approve staff to enter into a lease for a unit in the pop-up plaza with Arrowhead Acres for a term of 3 months. Staff report.
The city's pop-up plaza sits vacant the majority of the year. The pop-up plaza will be used as a business incubator where new businesses can enter into a short-term lease with the city. And during that time, the business can work through the steps of building a new business and driving traffic to their idea. If the tenants open up their business within the city limits at the end of their lease, the final month of rent shall be $0. The pop-up plaza has the ability to allow new businesses to try new ideas and to see if their business model is successful. This will also provide the city the opportunity to show Plymouth is a city worth investing in while bringing in revenue for the city. The initial fiscal impact for each of the pop-ups is approximately $300 to $600 to drywall, insulate, and paint the interior of each of the 3 units. And all the drywall for the project will come from the city inventory that we already have. And the staff recommends that the council approves the city manager enter into a lease agreement for the units of the pop-up plaza. And we've attached the current lease that we're entertaining right now.
Thank you. We'll go to public comment at this time on 7.4. Anyone have public comment on this item?
Hi, Jamie Levenko. I have a quick question. So I don't know, I mean, I think this is a fantastic idea to use them, right? But I'm curious if the 3 months rolls over the top of events that are planned in the city where those pop-up plazas are typically used. So, I mean, I think I'm immediately thinking of the Christmas market. And I don't know, I'm assuming the leasee gets to leave their items in that building. So if something like this were to move forward, I think it would be really important to make sure that it's communicated to the people who are doing kind of these annual events who typically use those spaces to let them know that they don't have that, you know, with any luck, maybe all 3 of them get filled, right? Just so long as the people who are organizing things for events know that they're not usable. And then I guess that was also a question, like the people who lease them, will they get to leave their items in there? So say I want to put in Jamie's pop-up bookstore, can I leave the items in there when I'm not open? Or do they have to be removed like they would currently if you were to rent the pop-up plaza?
Those are great questions. Do you have factual answers? Thank you.
I do, and that's one of our selling points is that we do have events throughout the year. to these people that might be interested in leasing them, and that they have those for the events and that they'll be open for the events. And right now we just have one interested party. We have other people that are talking, but their businesses would also complement the other events that we do have going on.
Thanks. Do we have anyone else that wants to come up for public comment? Hold on
Rosemary
real quick,
Marino, moving
RJ.
Plymouth, huh?
Sorry, hold on one second. Jamie, maybe meet with Cameron, because I know you do a lot of events. Would you mind meeting with Cameron about it? Awesome. So he can give you, go ahead, RJ.
I just want to say kudos because those have sat empty for so long, and it's great to have something, maybe generate a new business in town and all, and I think it's a great idea. So I love to see this happening.
Thank you. Anyone else have questions? Or comments, I should say, not questions. Sorry, it's getting late. It's been a long day. Okay, we'll close public comment. We don't have anyone online wanting. So we'll close public comment at this time and we'll move it to council. Holger, you have anything?
I'm Barney.
Okay. Debbie, do you have anything?
I was just wondering, what is Arrowhead Acres? Is it like fruits or like home goods?
They do sourdough bread, and they'll also be selling plant arrangements out of there. And we're currently working with environmental health to make that happen right now.
Thank you. Can they leave their stuff in there? They can. Okay,
Yes.
and is at their own risk?
Correct.
City incurs no risk for that, correct? Okay. Don?
That was actually my question too. So it's solely on them. I know you were saying something about but the winter months are coming up. What are they doing for heating those?
I'm sorry, can you?
If they want to heat in there, what are they going to be doing for heat?
They have mini splits in there, don't they?
They have AC in there.
Oh.
They'll have to be responsible for their own little portable heating units. That we've confirmed that anything that they want to do in there, we have the power to support.
Okay, and then I might open another can of worms on the heating wise. Then if they're using like space heaters, different stuff there, have paper products and stuff in there, I would suggest you probably make it contingent also that either our building inspector or Amador Fire has to come in at their expense, sign off on that. I mean, we don't want a situation where a heater is too close to something, wasn't on code or something, and you know what I'm saying? That.
We can add that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Amador Fire would just come out and do it. I don't know if they would charge or how that works, or our own inspector. I don't, either way. Those would be my concerns there. And I mean, I think it's fantastic that to finally be getting those used for something, and possibly, you know, then people might do so well that they want to stay permanently in the city. That'd be great. So great job on putting that together.
Did you have anything? That was it. Yeah, my only comment on this is I want to give kudos to Cameron for coming up with this and for, again, being creative and thinking outside of the box on several things. We haven't had anybody that has suggested doing something like this, so this is a fantastic idea. My only concern was actually the one Jamie brought up about, you know, people who have been used to using those. So if we can, I mean, as it stands right now, we're only entering into one agreement, so there'll be 2 other plazas. But if that's something we can just be mindful of and coordinate with anybody who's doing events and stuff like that, more than anything, just so we're advertising and letting people know, hey, by the way, pop-up plaza won't be available. You're going to need to put up your own pop-up or whatever. I think, you know, it's great. Any income is good income at this point. So I'm really excited about this idea. And it really helps, I feel, people who are not in a position to go open a brick and mortar store, but would love to have regular business hours where they can feature their items. So, yeah, look for a motion on this.
Do we just read the title or?
Yeah,
It could be a motion to approve the agreement, subject to the amendment discussed about fire inspection.
anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to approve item 7.4, approving the city manager to enter into a lease agreement on the Papa Plaza.
With the
amendment.
addition to require fire inspection.
Yeah, require safety inspection by fire, so, yeah.
I'll second the motion.
Councilmember Dill,
Aye.
Councilmember Hornish,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nunn,
Aye.
Mayor Cranford.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, we'll move to item 8, city manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At our last council meeting, we talked about, we met with Republic Waste Services, regarding their upcoming rate increase as we're entering, or coming up to the end of our contract. And they're talking, no numbers were specific, but it was, they said it would be a significant increase to our community. We started looking at other options and ended up meeting, which I didn't realize at the time that there was other options out there for waste services, but there's a company called Cal Waste that is also going to offer a proposal, and they've verbally agreed to keep our rates the same as they are, or with very, very minimal adjustments, while keeping the same level of service that we do have. So that's something we're still working on. We also did some improvements to our headworks that at the wastewater plant. All in all, it cost about $4,800, which was taken care of with CERA money, but that's allowing us to explore revenue generation ideas that we could use our wastewater plant for. And so we're working on that right now with the city attorney and our wastewater treatment plant operator. We did meet with MBS regarding our rate study. They stated it'll take approximately, now that the budget's passed, they've stated it'll take approximately 3 months to get completed, and I've asked them to expedite it the best that they can. And so they're working on them. I also asked that if there was a draft from the previous rate study, because I know that's a concern. It was a concern of mine too when I came into this office. And it was explained to me that the last city meeting with MBS in the city, it was an exploratory presentation that they were doing, and there is no draft that we can present to the public. But once one does become, we will get that out as soon as possible. We've been doing fairly regularly coffee with the city manager down at Fig Barn. And we've had some great turnout. Typically, we've been having about 8 to 9 people, and it's a great opportunity to address some of the concerns on a personal level and get some answers that they might not be able to get to in this open room. So I encourage everybody in the public that if there is an issue, that's a great opportunity to come and bring it. And we do address the things that are brought up there. As we just discussed, the pop-up plaza, I'd like to say it's formally open for business. And it is very expensive to do the research on starting a business and entering in a lease or buying a building and getting everything up and running for a brick and mortar. And I think this is a great opportunity that we're entering in to allow businesses to try new ideas at low overhead, and hopefully we get them to stay around in the city. We also had held interviews to fill our public works superintendent spot. We had 7 applicants. We offered 6 interviews. We conducted 5 interviews. We had a panel consisting of public works professionals from City of Folsom and the City of Placerville. My office didn't have anything to do with the interviews. And at the conclusion, they were overwhelmingly in support of giving Kanan, our current lead maintenance gentleman, the public works supervisor or superintendent spot. And And just to say a little something about Kanan, he, when our previous superintendent resigned abruptly, I asked Kanan if he was able to carry both roles for a little bit. And he did not back down. He did not shy away from it. He's taken it on. And I think he's going to be a phenomenal person to lead that team and get the city where it needs to go. I also met with Larry White, our code enforcement person with WGA, just to kind of go over some ideas on how to clean up the city, if you will. I'm a huge believer in the broken windows theory, and it's a term used a lot in law enforcement where if you overlook the small problems, the big problems start to come in. And so Larry and I kind of developed a plan to do that. And our goal is to work with citizens to kind of help clean up properties or address some code enforcement issues before we start finding and going down that rabbit hole. And so he's gonna start working on that early part of next week. And so if there's issues, we want to work with people to get those addressed. And then also KVGC reached out and asked if we can kind of do a little thing on Plymouth. And so I'm going to be on the radio being interviewed by the Geedies next Wednesday, the 29th at 8:30 in the morning. So tune in. Heck, it'll be exciting. So thank you.
Thank you. Mayor and council member reports and requests for future agenda items. We'll start with Debbie.
Nothing to report
And no agenda item.
and no agenda items.
Okay. Holger.
I wasn't there, but the CFD met to take care of some water and swale issue. I know Cameron sat in on this one. I had to work. But because of that CFD, the whole committee, non-committee thing, I would like to see that getting sorted. And then you just brought up the water and sewer study. That is something that I think needs to be expedited as much as possible because
Revenue.
And it's just one of the thorns that is killing us a little bit. And then how do I get invited to coffee with the city manager?
Yeah, when's the next one?
We'll probably do one next week, but we got to work on your days off.
Okay.
Those pesky adult jobs. Keeping us from doing all the fun things we want to do. Don?
If now I do want to see, before long, I brought it up before, discussion on trying to figure out the old Sacramento Road thing. And I know we brought it up several times. I don't know where that's at on the calendar. That, and as we had brought up the whole board meetings thing, separate board meetings things for Zinfandel. That was supposed to be talked about in September, and it's been getting pushed off because of other things. So I'd like to see those brought forward before long. I know over the next month or two, it's difficult with all the holidays, everything we have to fit in there.
Is that it, Don?
Yeah.
Okay. One is actually Rosemary beat me to it. I did notice when we had that heavy rain, going down 49 on the right-hand side of the highway coming into town. There was standing water on that walking trail. I'm not gonna say I told you so. And
Is it by the RV park?
nope, actually it wasn't, which is where I thought it would be, although I didn't look there, to be honest.
Is it in the corner where?
It's right where the crosswalk is. Is that where you noticed it too, Rosemary?
By the
Where the
crosswalk?
crosswalk is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's gonna become an issue because that's just gonna keep washing out if we get heavy rain. I did not look at the other end of the walking trail down by the 49er, but I would assume that probably needs to be looked at as well.
I did see people actively cleaning.
Cleaning it out.
Yep.
Yep. So, yeah, I had that. The other thing, is the Accra situation. So I have not been sent an email, at least not as of yesterday. Last time I checked my city email, I will admit it was yesterday morning. It's been a long 48 hours. But I have not gotten an Accra meeting invite. Bradley informed me that there's supposed to be an Accra meeting next Tuesday. So I am on the board of directors for Accra. I will make sure I attend that meeting to find out what's happening with that. If I can't do that, I will get a hold of Logan Carnell, who's also on the board, and he's on, obviously, supervisor, to get an update from him on what's happening. Yeah, it's a shame. I know that Amy, who was one of the directors of Accra, resigned, and they were already in financial peril. Accra was when I came on in June, I believe it was. So I'm not sure what's going to be happening with that. That will obviously affect like our bingo night that we have here in the city. Vicky or Dana, do either of you know if the bingo night was scheduled to be held in October and November, or did they not? Do you not know? They weren't there. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, and in other news, yes, I would like to come to a coffee deal with you. If you can just shoot us some dates ahead if we know. I can try to make it on a Friday morning. But yeah, those, like I said, those pesky jobs get in the way of doing fun things. And I think that's everything. I want to thank everybody, the city staff for working so hard recently on, I mean, always, you guys always work hard, but on all the changes that have happened with Boone and leaving and Cameron coming on board. And it just, I really appreciate everybody not quitting and sticking it out and, and working hard. I think that's everything. As far as future agenda items, the rate study, which I know we can't, I mean, we just have to wait for NBS to do that. I agree with Dawn. I would really like to see the Old Sack Road thing dealt with, because we don't know if we're responsible or they're responsible. And if we are, we need to shift that responsibility back to the Board of Supervisors, back to the county. So if you need me or whatever to reach out to Brian, or if you want to, or meet with him or whatever, let me know. I think that's everything. I don't have anything else. Everyone else good? Okay. All right, we do have one closed session item. So we're gonna go into closed session at this time. Does anyone have public comment on the closed session item? Okay, I don't see anybody coming up for public comment, so we'll close public comment and closed session. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for sharing with us your thoughts and comments. We're gonna go into closed session at 7:54 PM. No, oh, sorry. Okay, no reportable action coming from closed session. We're gonna adjourn this meeting at 9:02 PM.